Nobody had it on the radar, but Alchemist AI is one of the top performers on Solana today. Does it still make sense to buy into this positive momentum, or is this a pump and dump? We're going to look at the on-chain metrics, the data most people aren't considering, to try to figure out if it still makes sense to buy Alchemist AI. Now here are the top performing trending tokens on Solana today. They are ordered by their liquidity pool size, and Alchemist AI is at number 11 with a liquidity pool of 2.8 million. It went up by almost 40% today, only beaten by AI16Z, which we also covered on this channel, by the way. Now I have to give a disclaimer directly at the beginning of this video. I am invested in Alchemist AI as well. I bought yesterday, so I'm up roughly those 40%. And I want to share how I found this token early. Here's an announcement. This is from the premium membership of this channel. I'm going to buy some Alchemist AI. And that was when the price was still at 10 cents. Now we are close to 14 cents. Why did I buy? I was simply a sheep. I simply followed other smart people. Ansem bought into the token, Hybrid Whales Crypto bought into the token, the Fred Whale bought into it as well. $387,000 worth of purchases. And that happened 24 hours before I bought. So the smart money got in. And so Alchemist AI was launched through the Pump.fun ecosystem. It's currently the 9th largest Pump.fun token in terms of market cap. But have a look at this, right? Most of those larger market caps aren't doing that great recently. There's one outlier, it's Fartcoin. But it's very important to figure out what is driving a rally. The Fartcoin rally is not driven by a lot of retail investors suddenly deciding to buy the token. And here is how I know about this. I've published a video on Fartcoin 1.5 days ago, and it was clearly an underperformer. The average video is here in gray, and that was the recent Fartcoin video. Nobody is searching for Fartcoin anymore. So why does the price suddenly double? Here is why. There's now a lot of derivative contracts on Fartcoin. Fartcoin is now a centralized exchange token. The price discovery does not happen anymore on chain. And this is when crypto trading becomes almost like a casino game, because we can't really know what happens within those centralized exchanges. The centralized exchanges are simply black boxes, and there's very deep money with a lot of market makers in them. Alchemist AI is still very new. All of the trading still happens on-chain on Radium. And that makes analysis so valuable. That's why we can look at the on-chain metrics to see who's currently buying and selling. Now have a look at the top performers in the Pump.fun ecosystem. There is Fartcoin, which is manipulated. There is Alchemist AI. And there's also this blank token over here. I haven't yet made a video on this token because how can I make a video on this, right? Nobody will find it when they're just searching for empty space. But here is what's differentiating Alchemist AI from a lot of other Pump.fun ecosystem tokens. It looks like we've got an altcoin over here that's not just a random meme coin. Alchemist AI is a platform that allows to create software applications with a simple description. There's a very nice website, there's a marketplace, and that marketplace has already a few apps. The Twitter account has 16,000 followers, and on-chain we've got 21,000 holders. Now in the last few days we actually saw how the interest by small retail tends to be declining. Have a look at the number of first-time traders versus recurring traders over time. This is not growing, though the price is. Now have a look at this. This is the trading volume over time. It's not declining as quickly as the number of new traders. And when we look at the largest wallets, they tend to now make up more of the trading volume. We can forget about the latest data point over here because today has just started. Over the days, we saw more and more of the trading volume generated by the wallets that have between $1,000 and $100,000 worth of the token. Now there's adoption across the board, right? The number of retail investors grows quite quickly. The number of whale investors doesn't grow as quickly, but the holding by those large investors is growing. So on the left side, we see the number of wallets that have at least 7,000 Alchemist AI tokens. Very nice constant growth. And the same is true for the medium-sized holders as well. This is now 70,000 tokens. On the right side, it's another 10x, so that's now 700,000 tokens in the wallet. And those numbers of tokens correspond to currently $1,000 worth of the token, $10,000 worth of the token, and $100,000 worth of the token. So yes, the number of whales isn't growing that quickly. There is growth, but it's not as quickly as for the number of retail investors. That being said, the percentage ownership of the whales tends to go up. 68% of the token supply is now held by wallets that that have at least $100,000 worth of the token. And just see how quickly that value that is held by those whale wallets is growing. And now compare this with the small retail wallets, right? The wallets that have less than $1,000 worth of the token. They now only hold 1.7% of the supply. And of course, it's also growing, but definitely not as quickly. From December of last year to today, we have seen how the whales have pretty much 5x'd their holdings. Small retail hasn't even doubled their holdings during the same period. The token is still traded mainly on-chain, but it's the larger wallets that are taking over. And maybe some of those larger wallets are market makers, maybe it's the centralized exchanges themselves. So I predict here in this video that Alchemist AI will get a listing by MEXC, by KuCoin, by Binance, who knows, but it seems like the big players are getting in. There is a real story here, right? A launch pad of new applications. This reminds me to a degree of the Virtuals protocol, right? A launchpad of AI agents, one of the top performing tokens on the base chain in the last months. The market cap is not yet huge. And so yes, I am talking my book here. I hold the token as well. I bought the token as well. And usually I do not publish a video on a token after buying. But when a token appreciates that quickly, that it becomes part of the top trending tokens on a chain, then I usually analyze that on this channel. Almost all of the tokens that I mentioned in this table have been covered over here. And so Alchemist AI is simply just one of the recent entrants into that list. Now things are hyper bullish right now, right? Bitcoin continues to make one high after the next, and pretty much every altcoin is appreciating right now. It almost feels like because there's so much correlation within crypto that it doesn't really matter what we buy. What we see over here is the others dominance. So how much of all of crypto is in the altcoins that's not in the top 10 in terms of market cap. And that's growing very nicely, very steadily in the last days. And I see this in the statistics of this crypto channel as well. Nobody was interested in crypto just a few weeks ago, and suddenly we're spiking up in terms of attention again. And so yes, it's true that everything tends to go up, but there are still ways to outperform. So for example, over here, this is the Memecoin market, and in the last 7 days, AI16Z more than doubled. Yes, Bitcoin went up as well, but it definitely did not double. Now it's at a price of 43 cents. But the question is, how can we get into a token like AI16Z before it doubles? How can we find out about tokens like this early? And what I personally like to do is I like to follow other influencers. I like to follow insiders. I like to follow people that tend to move the markets, especially for those very small tokens. So have a look at this. Kyle Chessy bought AI16Z on the Jupiter exchange on Solana for 1.8 cents. And he didn't just buy once, he bought several times. Since then, the price went up by more than 2,000%. Now, who is Kyle Chessy? He's an influencer that tends to buy tokens very early, where of course not every single token makes these kinds of returns, but it's a bit like VC investing, right? You make 10 bets, you hope for 2 of those bets to make returns like this, and you're okay when the other 8 out of those 10 bets don't work out as well. So here we go, here is his channel. He's got 138,000 subscribers, and we track 12 of his wallets. So this is how wallet tracking works, right? You use on-chain analytics to find out who owns what wallet. And once you've got the wallet, you put this in a tracker. And then whenever this wallet makes a transaction, whenever this wallet buys or sells, we get an automatic notification. We are not just tracking Kyle Chessy, we also track Crypto Banter, for example. They've got 1.1 million subscribers. When they talk about a token, especially a small cap token, that token definitely goes up because there's a lot of attention on the token, right? Attention equals purchases, purchases equal a higher price. We've got 33 of Crypto Banter's wallets. And we're also tracking, for example, Alex Becker. He's got 1.5 million subscribers. We've got 12 of his wallets. And so really, I believe this is the way to beat the crypto market. It's to know more than most. It's not just to pick random tokens in a list, hope that they will make a 2-3x in this bull run. It's actually to be early. It's so early that most people don't know about this yet. I believe in this strategy so much that I made 8 dedicated tutorial videos just on wallet tracking. So how can we find influencer wallets? How can we track them? And how can we then also interpret the signals that we get from the tracking? It's all part of the premium membership of this channel. The link is down below, thebitcoinstrategy.com. Premium is not just about wallet tracking. It's also about backtesting. It's also about macro indicators. It's also about risk mitigation, portfolio diversification, etc. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total in premium. And so yeah, people are very happy. Feel free to stop this video over here and read this feedback. The most important thing is, of course, once we have those kind of of signals that we also get some feedback from the rest of the community, right? That we discuss when should we buy, when should we sell, what are the current on-chain analytics. That's why we've got dedicated chats on the individual altcoins as well. So feel free to check it out. Feel free to invest some of the gains to make the portfolio grow even faster. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, just message me within the first week and I will refund you 100%. You really have zero risk. Now, does it still make sense to buy Alchemist AI? I believe yes, it looks like the smart money is buying in, the whales are accumulating. Thus, I think the next step is likely going to be a centralized exchange listing, which would probably put another 2 to 3x on the price. I don't have a crystal ball either. I'm simply just sharing the data as I see it, and I will continue to make updates on Alchemist AI on this channel as well. If you don't want to miss those updates, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to also give this video a like in case you got some value out of this video. Looking forward to seeing you again in YouTube or potentially in premium. Cheers!